Today we're heading up the mountain to talk about how to shoot really good video of yourself.
Dog barks, monkey scatter. So this is what I got in my bag. A strap that I can put the GoPro on myself with. That's important. And a piece of string so that I can tie this camera to a tree if I need to. And all in all, that's it. GoPro with a suction cup on it so I can stick it on the window. And this thing works like amazingly. You just like, it just sticks there. Well, there's a proper way to do it. Stick it on there. GoPro Hero 9 black. And then a Canon M50 and a wireless mic. I like the wireless mic better than anything else just because it gets better sound. I could just use a shot mic on top of the camera, but I like it when you really got good control over the sound, so there's not like a lot of outside ambient noise coming in and that kind of stuff. And the other thing with the shot mic is that if you turn the camera away from yourself, the audio level like drops to about half. So basically 1, 2, and 3 cameras. I won't use a cell phone much, but handy to have for a shot like this.
And let's head for the mountain. We'll just stop here for a couple minutes because I have some ideas.
This whole area is dedicated to Chinese, well, burial ground really. These are all the graves. And there's a couple of Chinese temples here. Keep your eye out for things that are about as high as a tripod, you know, a fence, whatever this thing is that you can set the camera on. So you put something nice or something in the foreground, you know, a bit of a plant or rock or stick or tree, whatever it is, and then you do the walk through it, through the shot. It gives you a real sense that we're going somewhere. Or you put the foreground out of focus and then the long shot is in focus. And sunshine can be your worst enemy when you're trying to shoot by yourself. Well, even if you're not. This is the beaten path, not for me. See that hole in the bush right there by that sign? That's where we're going. There's like 40 cars and motorbikes parked down here at the end of the road. People that are walking up and down this paved trail here. And it's good exercise, but oh man, it's so boring. I do it once in a while just to remind myself about how awesome it is when you get into the bush. When you have no strength of your own, this is what you do, so you can grow high up in the jungle. My wife is right. Shooting video is not the fastest route between 2 points. In fact, you can't even get to them all from here. Jungle vegetation is so fascinating. Everything eating each other. So this one is my main gear. It's the Canon M50 and a kit lens 15 to 45 millimeter zoom. So it's handy because you can crop a little bit. It's small. It's a lens that comes with the camera. It's cheap. I even have some extra ones around. And then this ball mount, a knee-wear ball mount. And you want to make sure that The one you get has this screw on it, because if you've got this screw, you can actually pan. Some of them don't have a screw, they just tighten it with this thing, and then you have to loosen it to pan, well then your camera falls over. If you get the tension set on this screw here, about right, then you can actually pan back, up and down with this camera. Nice and smooth. And I've got it mounted on this thing here. I made this little black plate here. My media students call it the pancake. You know why? No, it's because we shoot video at 5:30 most mornings, and they haven't had breakfast yet. And even after they have had breakfast, they're still hungry. The clunky part about the whole setup is this Sennheiser wireless mic, and I've got the other part of it in my pocket with the antenna sticking out. Now you could also use the mics on the camera. I think there's some little holes up in there somewhere, and that's what you're listening to right now, and it's passable. The only thing is, you know, with the wireless mic, I can walk down the path and you can still hear me. I actually bought the wireless mic about 20 years ago, 25 years ago maybe, because we were spending a lot of time in the northern jungles of Thailand, and I wanted to be able to talk. We were doing a television program. I wanted to be able to talk from the back of an elephant. And so we bought this Sennheiser wireless pack, and it's been going good for, 20, 25 years. So it's an investment about $700 or whatever, but it's been well worth it. This is the water that carves out these really deep gullies on the trail. When it rains up here, it rains like BC. And every once in a while, we come out to that road again. Hasn't rained for a couple days here, and the smell of the dog urine is just over the top. And in the dry season, oh man, well, I can't stand it right now. I got to get off this road. Let's get out of here. When I was in grade like 4 or 5, elementary school, well, even junior high, high school, yeah. You would turn away from the front of the class and look out the window. And it's like the teacher's voice would suddenly become unintelligible. And I don't know how it did that, but then you would be designing and engineering maybe a rocket ship or a tree fort or a go-kart or a bridge over the creek at home, whatever it was. And they said I was a daydreamer, But I don't think it's true, because I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning and my mind was thinking about these shots that I was going to take today. Point being, that when our minds work, I got my youngest daughter here in Sircha, Somi. She's kind of like the queen of Montessori in our city. And she has a Montessori program for me because she says, so that old people don't forget their keys and stuff. And I'm like, I don't lose my keys. My wife usually knows where they are. But the idea is to keep your mind active. I don't have any trouble doing that, And I think we all do it in different ways. We might be thinking about music. We might be thinking about decor or engineering, whatever it may be. But that active mind is one of the most exciting things. I come out here at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and so being awake at 4 something, and I don't know what time it is, and so I'm just watching the curtains to see if I can see a little tinge of light coming, because then I know I can get up and go. And so you're waiting there, and it seems like hours, right? And this morning I'm like, I see the light, throw the covers off, jump out of bed, and then I go, oh, oops, don't forget, I'm not that young anymore. But a busy mind, an imaginative mind, a creative mind is an excited life. And I just so enjoy being able to come up with new things and new ideas. And so, as I say, I thought about the shots that I was going to take this morning, and these are all one-man shots, okay? I've got no remote tools or nothing like that. And just the tricks that I've learned. I can tie this pancake thing to a tree if I need to. I can put it on the ground. You notice that most shots, a lot of the perspective shots, especially the ones that I take because of this thing, it's so close to the ground, right, are from the ground up, you know, and you think, oh man, it's fairly dramatic. But then you think, like, whoever sees things from that perspective? Well, just the guy that broke his leg and he's laying on the side of the trail, you know. And the interesting thing about these trails is every so often there's a crutch leaning against a tree in case you break your leg so you can still get home. I really appreciate that. We're laying awake at night thinking about that one. But anyway, shooting selfie video, it's not actually selfie video, it's just more of a storytelling system or method. And I love doing that because you get to use creativity to promote or communicate ideas that are, you know, really powerful and not that easy to communicate. And so the idea this morning is be creative. It leads to an exciting life and it's a lot of fun. Gets you up excited in the morning. Now I am going to go home and find some breakfast and it's going to be awesome.